5 books and counting. The Tales from the Omni Vault continues to expand as a universe. Go ahead and check the links down in the description to get your copies today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni Viewer, and after a very long wait, the fourth of Mezco's 5 points articulated Godzilla figures in the 4-inch range has been released. I say fourth because, in case you've been keeping up, there have been 2 Destroy All Monsters sets that I count as basically 2 parts of the same whole, a Godzilla vs. Hedorah set and a Mothra set. That was Mothra and the Shobijin from the Showa period. So, I guess technically if you want to count the Destroy All Monster ones as separate, this is the 5th box, but if you count both Destroy All Monsters things as one, it's 4. Whatever. This is the most recent one based on Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, the original. Right off the bat we can see that the packaging is very different here. You may recall that the Destroy All Monsters boxes had some of the poster art from a photo collage style poster. The Hedorah box had some Bob Eggleton art. The Mothra box had sort of abstract art that wasn't even really a box. It was more just a slipcover around the little carrying case that the Shobijin stay in. This, however, is a window box. You can see there's a little bit of the poster art up top, which is upside down apparently. You can see here, it, once I get the glare out of the way, has Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, and King Caesar from the Japanese poster. On the sides they have the promotional art here. And on the back, of course, other art of the figures. But otherwise, there's a window box for those weird people who want to get collectibles, but for some reason don't want to take them out of the box and put them on display. And I guess you can see them nice, although Mechagodzilla's kind of poking up into the top, so you can't really see his head from certain angles. But you know what? We don't leave stuff in the boxes here. We open our toys. So I'm going to get these things out of the plastic, and I will be with you shortly. Alright, so this is just the initial fresh out of the box thing with every single accessory along with the figures and these 3 bases, although other figures in this line haven't really needed those bases yet, so I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing. But either way, it looks like everything arrived safely. Maybe we will need the base after all. But anyway, everything arrived safely because Mezco packages these things in layers of plastic trays. So they really make sure things stay safe while they're in transit. And now that we've gotten them out of the box... also, notice there's a little set of instructions to let you know what goes where, just in case you can't tell. But otherwise, these are out of the box. Let's take a look at them individually. Alright, let's start with the G-Man himself. As you can see, this is very clearly the sculpt from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And interestingly enough, it is brand new. I brought the Destroy All Monsters Godzilla out with me. As you can see, even though they are still of similar size, basically everything about this sculpt is new. Literally, like, it's a different head, different spines, different arms, different legs, different tail. The whole thing, brand new. Even the heat ray accessory I'm looking at, I didn't bring it out with me for this demonstration because I thought it would be the same, but even it's slightly new. It's the same basic idea, but the one that came with the Destroy All Monsters Godzilla was, first of all, a much richer shade of blue, and second, a bit more textured, I guess you could say. This is a bit smoother and a much lighter blue that seems to be getting lighter towards the narrow end. Maybe that's an optical illusion just from my angle. But anyway, that's the first thing I notice. Props to them, it is brand new. They didn't just go the lazy route of having a pre-existing sculpt with a different head, which would have been easy. Even the texture is a little bit different. So, it's the 5 points articulation, so you're going to have that in the legs, the arms, and the head, of course. But the tail's not going to move, and feels a little stiff this time around, but you know, it's fine. And of course, we have the extra head. I noticed with the Destroy All Monsters Godzilla, they had an open mouth and a closed mouth. Here they have an open mouth and a slightly less open mouth, which it ships with. I don't know why they didn't do a closed mouth, but whatever. The thing is, this head can come off, be replaced by this one. There we go. And this, of course, is the one that holds the breath. The heat ray that should go in there. Good enough. This actually kind of helps balance him a little. I don't know if you can tell, but his tail isn't quite touching the surface of the table, which when he was just standing free, he was kind of leaning back. Now that the breath's going forward, it doesn't seem to want to go in the same way the previous one does, but you know, overall effect still looks good. So, can't say I'm disappointed at all with Godzilla. Not really noticing any issues with paint or with finer details, film accuracy. It all looks like he does in the movie. So, now that we've got him out of the way, let's move on to Mechagodzilla. So first of all, I have determined that Mechagodzilla does need the stand because, the way he's posed, the fact that he can't use his tail as a sort of third support, I just want to make absolutely sure that he's upright for this. I can probably get him to balance if I finagled long enough, but I don't want to be wasting too much time on that. So, he has also got the 5 points with the arms, legs, and head, but he's actually got a little extra because his hands can turn, and that's actually because of all the different characters. Mechagodzilla has quite possibly the most accessories for any kaiju. He's got an extra head for the eye lasers. This little piece can come off for the little chest lightning bolt, and his hands can be replaced by the finger missiles. Man, there's a lot going on with him. Before we get to those, I will say that overall, once again, the appearance does look good. I mean, it's accurate to the original as far as I can tell. I don't really see anything that's really jumping out at me and saying, oh, that doesn't look like Mechagodzilla to me. So, I think I will get him all gussied up with his extra things now. Although first, let's take a slightly closer look here. The eye lasers, technically the same things, but like there's this... They actually recreated the fact that there's kind of notches, because it's supposed to be a pulsing laser. It's got a nice little gradient going from blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Sort of ends with a jagged line there. The lightning bolt appears to be slightly translucent, has a little door flip down. Yeah, not much to say about this other than it looks like a lightning bolt. Hand missiles, though, that's interesting because they went for asymmetry here. You may notice, like, different fingers firing, sort of at different lengths there. The gray parts aren't translucent, as far as I can tell, but it's going to add a nice little extra visual flair. Okay, so I will switch these out and we'll see how he looks then. As I'm getting him suited up, I just wanted to point something out here. The little notch in his chest when you remove this absolutely tiny little door is very specifically shaped as is the tab for the lightning bolt itself. So this only goes in a very particular way. I just wanted to point that out for anyone who was wondering. And here we are, Mechagodzilla in Berserker mode. I mean, this is definitely one where he'll have to have the stand because everything is coming forward in this one. But he looks really cool this way. I mean, just blasting everything all at once like he does in both of his classic appearances. I gotta say, a nice touch. And now that I'm really looking at it, the smoke parts of the hand missiles might be clear because the pegs that stick into the arms were also clear. So there might be a slight translucency to it, but I really can't tell in this particular lighting. If it is, though, I mean, that's cool. So, also, as far as the eye lasers go, looks like it's a little... they do actually fit in a particular way. So... Oops. Yeah, there's all right. Yeah. Okay, so I do notice it seems like the lightning bolt kind of skews off to the side a little, but I would say overall this is a really cool effect. So, you know, if you ever wanted to pose Mechagodzilla where he was firing a bunch of his weapons all at once, I mean, this is quite the way to do it. And now, of course, the one and only King Caesar. Now, here's a monster who doesn't get a lot of attention all that often. Now, again, like 5 points articulation for the arms, the legs, and the head. Although, I think I managed to get him just right so he's mostly balanced. I'm trying to keep him faced in such a way that he's not tipping backwards. Again, I'm seeing pretty good detail. From certain angles, it looks like his snout on this primary head might be a little too retracted, I guess. I always thought his muzzle stuck out a bit more, but whatever. And of course, he also has a refracted eye laser beam, just like in the movie, which attaches to this head. And of course, this head has other differences as well. You notice the primary head has the floppy ears dangling down. This head has the ears sticking up. And also, slightly different mode of attachment. It actually doesn't look like this head can rotate, so maybe this is only 4 points of articulation. But either way, let's see. Head. I'm trying to be careful here. Head pops off. This head, yeah, you can see right here. See the different shape? Okay. This head goes in. Already, just the alteration of the ears completely changes the dynamic. The hole to accept this is in his left eye. And there you go. I mean, it's got a different color from the Mechagodzilla pure beams, as you can see. But, yeah, I like the way it looks. Okay, so overall, quite a good addition to any set. It's got a nice... Whoa. Obviously, some of the characters are going to have a hard time balancing, as you can see. But, you know what? If I want to complete the image, got to do it right. Got to have... this will look better for the thumbnail, you know? All right, so switch them around maybe. Yeah, overall, I am just as impressed with this set as I am with the other Mezco sets. Like I've said in the past, these guys are small, but they've got tons and tons of detail. And of course they have all the extra things that just make the displays even cooler. So this set is a good one. Oh, and I would be remiss. Whoop, careful there. Yes, it still scales with the other figures. So if you get the Anguirus from the Destroy All Monsters set, you've got every monster that appears here. And you can't beat that with a stick. Anyway, like I said, this is really good quality, so if you can afford it, of course, I would recommend all of the Mezco sets, this one in particular. But, you know, maybe that's just me. Anyway, just wanted to share my thoughts on this. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. Thank you all for watching. Now be sure to head down to the description to check us out on other platforms, as well as find links to the 5 current books in the Tales from the Omni Vault universe. Again, thank you all, and we'll see you next time.